everybody! Today I'm going to show you how to make a treble crochet stitch. I've started with a chain of 9 stitches and I need to make a turning chain, and for a treble that's 3 more chains I need to make. I'm going to mark the 3rd chain I made at the top there with a stitch marker. I'll show you why at the end of the next row. Now to make my first treble crochet stitch. Yarn over, skip the first 3 chains, and I'm going to make my first stitch in the 4th chain from the hook. Yarn over, pull the loop through, yarn over the first 2 and yarn over the second 2 to complete the stitch. Let's make another one, just into those top loops of your chain stitch. So yarn over, pull it through, yarn over the first 2 loops, then yarn over the second 2 loops to complete your treble stitch. And again into the top loop of your next chain stitch and complete your treble crochet in exactly the same way. Here I've completed 8 stitches including my turning chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 2 more to make. Let's see where to put them. There's the last 2 chain stitches, 1, 2. So I'm going to work yarn over into the top loop of that next chain there and make the stitch as before. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over the first 2, yarn over the second 2. The last stitch is sometimes a bit tricky to see, but it's right there just next to your slip knot that you made when you began. Just work the hook into the top loop like you did before. There you are, right next to the knot, and make your last stitch. Now for the next row, a turning chain of 3 stitches again. 1, 2, 3. I'm turning now after I've made them. 1, 2, 3, 4 chains. I want to start in the 5th chain there. You can see the 2 V's that make up the top of the stitch. Why the 5th chain, I hear you ask? Well, we need to ignore the first 3 chains, that was the turning chain, and we need to ignore the 4th chain because that's the base of the stitch. So yarn over and then insert your hook under the V of the top of the stitch and make your treble in the same way. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over the first 2, yarn over the second 2. The turning chain counts as a stitch, so you've actually made 2 treble stitches. I'm going to carry on along the row, working through the V's, that's the top of the stitch, and making my treble crochet in each one. Okay, I'm near the end of my row again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches completed. I need to make 2 more. Again, the next one is easy. I can look for the V that makes up that stitch. There it is. Yarn over, hook in, and I'll complete my treble stitch. Now you may remember I put a stitch marker in the 3rd chain of my turning chain. That's because the turning chain counts as a stitch, and it can be a bit tricky to find that stitch when you're working the last chain. So there we are, you can see it quite clearly. I can take out my stitch marker and make my last treble crochet stitch in that stitch where the stitch marker came out. Why not try using a stitch marker in your work if you're having trouble finding the top of that pesky 3rd chain? Making a treble stitch is really very easy with practice. My book Beginner's Guide to Crochet will show you this and lots more too, with some great projects for beginners. And don't forget to check out my blog for lots of inspiration for your crochet. And if you fancy putting your skills into practice, then pop along to my Etsy shop where you'll find lots of patterns. I'll see you again soon.